Hello, everyone. This was a very difficult podcast to start because the topic of this is how God uses messed up people. And the reason why it was harder for me to get this broadcast up and going, I actually delayed it a day or two, is honestly because I felt so messed up myself. There's not a day that goes by that in some way or another I feel I've messed up or said something I should have said, or, did something I should have done or what have you. And so, we all have our issues and our things in life that we deal with. And I just came back from a nice little time sitting at the lake and just praying and asking God to use me in all of the ways that I've messed up and show me how somehow I can be a light to other people. Now, before I get into this, I do want to say we are going to have many episodes where we talk about really pursuing your dreams and your passion in life. And I'm going to give you all types of tips and things to help you. I'm hoping to help water that seed a little bit that's inside of you to help you to grow. But it hit me so hard that there's so many of us that feel messed up. We feel that we have no self-worth or, how can God really use me? Would he even want to bless me? Would he even want to bless me to achieve my goals or my dreams or, to accomplish great things in life? Do I even, I don't even deserve it. And so I want to target that audience right now for those who feel that was you really don't know me and all the things that I've done, or you really don't know some of the things I struggle with. And I just don't see how anything really good could ever happen with me or if I can ever really accomplish the big dreams that I have or that I know that God wants me to do because I've just always failed in some way or another, or I've always fallen short. And so anyway, you're my target audience if any of that defines you. And so here's the premise that I want to talk about, and I'm going to come from a unique angle. God always uses messed up people. If you know anything about some of the books of the Old Testament, and I'll start there. And again, I'm not trying to convert people into any kind of a religion or anything like that. I'm really not. I'm not a biblical scholar. I am not a minister. I'm not a professional counselor, any of that. I'm just simply someone who is trying to give you some of the tools and some of the secrets, I guess we can say, that I've tapped into by spending time with God to get through very hard times in life, especially times when I felt down and I felt discouraged and felt like I don't even want to move forth. So let's talk a little bit about some of these people in the Bible because, it dawned on me in the Old Testament, God really used a lot of people that did some messed up things. Let's talk about, King David. Everyone knows David, right? David was the one that, defeated Goliath. And some of you guys may know David as the one that, God says is a man after my own heart, right? David was, king over, Israel. And David did a lot of great things, but are you aware that David is also the one that in the beginning of all of this stuff, I guess fell in love with some woman, some lady he really liked, and slept with her, and not only slept with her, but got her pregnant. Think about that. And turned around and had her husband put on the front line of a military some sort of a war or something that they were in at the time. I forget his name. I think it was Uriah or something like that. But he literally had this man put on the front line on purpose so that he could be killed. So that's the same David that did a lot of great things for God that he ended up using. So think about that for a moment. Think about who's another big one that everybody knows, Moses, right? We love Moses, right? Led the Israelites out of Egypt, parted the Red Sea, did all that wonderful stuff. Are you aware, one, Moses was very insecure about some things, about, I guess he stuttered or something like that. And a couple times God had to approach him about even doing that, the big things that he later did in life. So he definitely had those insecurities. But are you guys aware that Moses killed the man? Like he was someplace, and so I think it was an Egyptian beating a Hebrew or something like that. And Moses became really enraged and actually murdered the man and buried him in the sand. So, so think about that for a moment. This is the same Moses that everybody knows about, but he just murdered someone and buried him in the sand. Think about Abraham. So we all love Father Abraham, right? You know the song, Father Abraham has many sons has father. You know how that song goes, right? Everyone knows about good old Abraham. But are you guys aware that at least on 2 occasions that we know of in the Bible, Abraham told his wife to lie and say that she was his sister, and other kings, and I can't remember the names of who they were with his wife. And he did that on purpose because his wife, I guess, was very beautiful. And wherever they were traveling, Abraham was afraid that because she was so beautiful that they would kill him so that they can be with her. So instead, he basically said, just tell them you're my sister. And you guys can read that story and see how all that turned out, and just go to the book of Genesis and read up on that. But just think of the premise with that, of what I'm getting at, is that this is the same person that just about everybody knows about Abraham in the Bible, and how there's so many stories about him. We won't even get into Eli and Saul and some of them. I just highly encourage you to just dig and look into some of those things, and look how Eli pretty much let his sons do whatever they wanted to do, and Saul, just his jealousy and how he handled situations. I mean, it's just crazy. So think about, let's kind of go into the New Testament a little bit. Here's the part that really helped me quite a bit, especially in those moments when I felt like, man, I just keep messing up so much. And why do I keep going back to this when I know this isn't good for me? And why am I dealing with this? And why can't I just get it right for like an extended period of time? So when I'm in those moments, I often think about the disciples and the people in the New Testament. Now, for those of you who may not know, you have your Old Testament, which is, the Genesis and, 1st and 2nd Samuel, and Exodus, and a ton of old books in that. The New Testament starts off with the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then it goes into, Acts and Romans and, 1st and 2nd Corinthians and all of that. So when I say New Testament, that's what I'm referring to. So anyway, here's what's so beyond amazing to me. When Jesus chose his 12 disciples, it dawned on me, why didn't he choose people that had it all together? Like, why did he choose people that, okay, like let's talk about Peter, right? Everybody knows Peter, Peter was just an amazing disciple that was talked about quite a bit. But Peter's also the one that denied him 3 times, when things got really heated. And when it was, coming close to, Jesus' crucifixion, Peter, the main one that said, I would never deny you, is the one that denied him 3 times. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard about that story when they said before the rooster crowed, when Jesus said, you would have denied me 3 times. So just think about that. Why did he even choose him? And then think about, I don't know, we don't even have to talk about Judas, because everyone knows the story of Judas, right? Judas is the one that betrayed him. But why did Jesus even fool with him? Like why pick people with these flaws that in some way or another don't have it together, or have done horrible things, and why even bother with them, right? So think about, I'm just going off the top of my head, so bear with me. Who's another one? Oh, the Apostle Paul. We can't forget about him. I didn't know, I learned years ago, the Apostle Paul was the one that used to persecute disciples. He used to be fully behind, them being arrested, and some people believe even being killed. So just think about that for a second. If you're trying to choose about 12 or so of your right-hand people, let's just say, to follow you around, why are you choosing, I think it was Matthew, I think he chose a tax collector. Why'd you choose Paul, who persecuted people, Peter, who you knew was going to deny you, Judas, who definitely turned you in? Why would he do that? And those are the kind of things that open my mind up when I start thinking about how God always use messed up people. So I'm kind of weird. Like when I go through my Bible, And again, I'm just going to keep saying this probably in every episode. I'm not a biblical scholar, so feel free to correct me on something if you feel I've gotten it wrong. It's definitely my intent to, get the right message out. And I want you to go back and examine everything I'm saying. Look through your Bible, make sure everything lines up. But when I go through my Bible, I'm kind of weird. I don't know. I kind of look at I try to look at what's not so obvious, Like even when I go and read through Naomi and Ruth, story of Ruth following Naomi around after Naomi lost her husband and her sons. And Naomi went through this stage of, I don't want to call it bitterness, but she was just hurting, and she didn't even want to be called Naomi anymore, She wanted to be called some name that meant bitterness or something. But every person in the Bible that I can think of, even Rahab, I just thought about that. I would love for you all to go and study out Rahab. She in the Bible was known for some things, I'll just say that. And you can look at that up on your own. But let's just say she lived a certain lifestyle that didn't line up with what most people thought was appropriate, right? But you can talk about Rahab all you want, but look at the fact that she was used, and I think it's in the book of Joshua, correct me if I'm wrong, but go in and read about how she turned around, and I believe she was the one that hid the people in her home, when they were doing the invasion. And she has an amazing part of biblical history, despite the lifestyle that she was living. Same with the woman that was at the well. I think that's in the New Testament, when Jesus sat at the well talking to the woman. I think she was a Samaritan woman, but the woman at the well, the woman that was caught in adultery, remember that one? When they wanted to stone her, and how Jesus responded to that. So when I sit back and I look at all of it, I remember one day sitting down and thinking, I kind of laughed a little bit, but I was like, oh my goodness, I'm always so, I don't know, I don't want to say worried, but at times disappointed in myself for the times when I didn't get it right. And I remember sitting back and just sort of looking at all of these, I don't want to diminish and say characters, but I'll say people in the Bible that I remember looking and thinking, and I said this out loud, I said, oh my God, they're all messed up. I mean, I looked at everybody that are, from some of the names that many people may not even recognize to the big shots, right? And in almost every situation, there was something about them that they did. I didn't even get into the book of Job. I mean, I could talk about him all day and the stages he went through. But in every situation, there was something going on where they messed up big time. Or they did some stuff that, today they do some serious time for. But yet, even as God said with David that this is a man after my heart, what's amazing about it is once people acknowledged that they were messed up, acknowledged their wrongdoing, and sincerely went to God to honor him in their lives, it's almost as if God looked past all of that and still did his good work in their lives. And so let me kind of wrap this up because, I could talk all day about some of those things. And I don't know, some of you guys may be feeling like it's a little bit too much Bible stuff for me. I don't know. But here's what I want to encourage you on. I don't care what it is that you're going through in life. I don't care what it is that you've done in the past. It doesn't matter. And I want to say this with kindness, the addictions you may be dealing with, or, it could be depression. It could be, there's so much going on right now in this world. You guys know that. So many people out of work and have lost their jobs, or depressed, or feeling worthless, or feel they don't have the support, or they don't have the financial backing to pursue this or to do this or to do that, or feeling that they're not attractive enough, or really sincerely worried about what people are going to think about them if they really do step out and pursue their dreams. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. People with health conditions and Oh my goodness, I could just go on and on and on about all of these things that you may think throw you in that category of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I don't deserve this to happen. My message to you all is quite simple. God can still use you. Your story is not over. God specializes in using messed up people and messed up situations. I'm a living example of that. I'm a living example. The more of these podcasts, or I don't know if you're watching on video or if you're listening to the podcast, but the more of these episodes that you watch, you're going to find out more and more and more about me and uncover more and more layers. And I'm a living testimony as well that God uses people that were in messed up situations. It's kind of his specialty. So whatever your situation may be, and you may say, well, Z, you don't understand, you don't know, I just got out of jail, or I just did such and such, or I just, whatever the situation is that you're in, I want you to know that God can use you. He can turn things around like you would not believe. It is not too late. He has a seed planted inside of you that he wants you to grow. He wants you to blossom. He still wants you to draw nearer to him. Your life is not over. It's not too late. It's not too late. Spend a little bit of time looking up some of these things, people I just talked about. And I hope that you get some hope and some inspiration from that, seeing that, my goodness, if God can use these people who did this, and this, I know that he has a plan for me and he can use me. That's what I want to leave you with today. We're going to get into talking about more episodes and pursuing your dreams and, ways to make money and this and that. We're going to get into all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I could talk business all day. That's what I do, right? But if I don't keep laying these bricks, these foundations for you, all of that other stuff we talk about really won't matter. Because if you don't believe that God can still use you, despite what you've done, despite your situation, despite how hard things may be right now, if you don't believe that, then no matter what I talk about, I mean, you can go listen to a lot of motivational speakers right now. They're everywhere, right? You'll listen to them, and after a couple hours or a couple days, it's in one ear and out the other. I'm trying to lay a foundation for you so that you understand that no matter who you are and what you've been through, God can still use you. His specialty is working with people like us that are just messed up. Anyway, love you all. I pray that this helped you. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. This is Z again. Do not forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification button. Bye-bye.